Good morning. Our hand today is Ace Jack Hearts. We're currently six-handed, so I'm in kind of a mid-position type setting. I open raised, three big blinds. I just use basically mid-position open raising range that I have. Pocket pairs, some broadways, a lot more suited cards than off-suited, definitely. And villain one calls, and both blinds fold. So villain one, over 23 hands, playing 17%. Let's say he plays somewhat tight. I'm going to say this might be a decent range. Out of two times he has not played from the button, this is the first time, so it's probably going to be something decent. I'm going to give him the broadways. I'm going to give him some suited and connectors and one gappers. I'm going to give him the suited aces. I'm not going to give him queens plus ace king. I'm going to assume he would have 3-bet. Flop comes down king 10-5, which is good for our range, but it could also hit his range. I mean, a lot of queen jacks are going to call, 10 jacks would probably call, queen 10s call, any of the kings, of course, are going to call. So I'm out of position. I have gut shot and backdoor flush draw, and I'm thinking I could c-bet here and definitely continue with any heart, continue with the queen. I think an 8, ace, or jack, I'm probably gonna have to check. So I c-bet half pot and he calls, turns a 3. I don't think that changes anything at this point. I'm thinking the 10s that called are now going to be able to fold. So I fire it out again and he folds. So the question is, how did I play? So let's look at GTO. So it lays out that I should be betting 38%, 39%. It's kind of a mixed strategy. King Queen's definitely always betting. You could see Ace King's leaning more towards betting. Ace Jack should probably be checking a little bit more. Looks like there's more checks than bets. It seems like for the Ace Jack, at least, we're more inclined to bet when you don't have that backdoor flush draw than if you do. So maybe we could check here. I think it's definitely could be an argument to check, and I bet to check call. So if I check and he bets just out of GTO, I'm going to be calling that. So I think that's probably what I should be doing. I've been noticing the last few weeks I've been aggressive. I've been making a lot of c-bets, a lot of barrels, and I've been picking up pots, but I've also been not picking up pots. So maybe what I need to do is just kind of slow down a little bit and think about my c-betting strategy again. Don't try to blow people over. This is a 5NL game, so the opponents tend to be weaker. But instead of blowing people over, maybe check call here and see what happens. So we check, he bets, we call. Turn was the 3 clubs, I believe. Yep. I check. If he bets again, now you see we're mostly calling with ace jack, probably because most players don't bet twice, and that's kind of what I'm betting on, is that most players don't bet twice without a decent hand. And so if I'm betting twice, it's it should get quite a few folds. Now, how did I play it? I actually bet, and then he calls, and if he plays GTO, he's calling. He should be raising with sets, and we're going to fix that. I'm going to say we probably doesn't raise with the set just now. Probably doesn't raise with 2 pair, but top pair, pocket card below the top pair, middle pair, some weak pairs are calling. You can see like the lower weak pairs, those pairs underneath the board, so 2s to 4s tend to be folding, but all the other pairs are going to call. We've got open-ended straight draws calling. We've got gut shots calling. And then you're going to have some of these backdoor 2-card backdoor flush calling. And these are, looks like these are like these hands where you're calling or mixing in some raises. So he calls, assuming he plays GTO, and now it's on me, and now I bet 74% of the time. And it is, I am betting more. I'm definitely betting with that club draw. We picked up equity. We don't mind if he folds, so we don't have to hit. Ace Jack of Hearts, though, is still a check. And I know that the turn didn't improve me, so I'm not sure why I still continue to fire out. Now I did win the hand, but still kind of thinking about general play. I can't keep doing this because I'm just going to start hemorrhaging money. So I bet, and then what hands is he going to call? What hands is he going to fold? If he plays GTO, he should be folding. He should be calling quite a bit, actually, only folding 23% of the time, and that's probably why we're not entirely betting with all of our ace jacks here. Yeah, we've got a gut shot, but I don't think we're getting enough folds, and we don't have enough draw equity to show a profit. So of course he folds. Now let's change this. That was a 3 clubs, pretty innocuous. What happens if this was, let's say, king of diamonds? How does that change it? We're not betting as high frequency, but we're still betting a lot of our high cards. I think that's probably because, you know, with 2 kings out, it reduces the number of kings that are out there. We would be betting our ace jack, we would be betting our gut shots, but we're going to be slowing down with, you know, like the small aces that no longer have a wheel draw at all. A6, A7 suited, really nothing there for us. Our middle cards, we're no longer betting. What if we do a jack? I'm going to do, or I'm sorry, a queen. Give us a straight. We're betting our straight. That's kind of what I expected. We're betting our straight. And then what about in between? I think 9's going to be a bad card. We're going to probably have to be checking most of the time. Yep, you can see we're checking 26% of the time. You know, a lot of cards that call 10 jack, 10 9. That's just, we're not going to be getting a lot of folds here. Ace jack's kind of a mix. We're going to be aggressive with some of those gut shots, but you can see that we're slowing down significantly. Now, does he always play GTO? Probably not. So what we're going to do is kind of get our sets and say he always calls with his sets. He always calls with his 2 pair, meaning he's never going to raise them. He's never going to raise her top pair, pocket pair below the top pair, even the middle pair. I do think he calls with the weak pairs, probably with all of them. But then you've got everyone else here calling. So let's run our solver. Let's see what this looks like, and we'll come back. All right, so we change his calls. So he's calling with a lot of those. He calls, and now once he has all of those calls, oops, 9 of diamonds, definitely, you know, we're checking. Let's do king of diamonds. Looks like we are betting a little bit more frequently, but he's not giving us any clue that he has trips, that he has anything. So what about, I think it was a 3 of clubs. 3 of clubs. Yeah, we've slowed down with that wider range. Possibility that he has pairs, 2 pairs, trips, really changes things up, and we're gonna have to now like check to our draws. So probably looks like shouldn't have, if he's just calling with those ranges. Probably should have just gone ahead and checked the turn and hope for something. If we check the turn and he bets, then I think we're probably just gonna have to fold ace jack. You know, we tried to take it. It didn't work out, so be done with the hand. All right, let's look at one more real quick. All right, so close that out. Here's another hand, similar situation. A few more players at the table, but I'm in mid position. I raise, and then we get a cutoff who calls. In this case, I don't think he's playing way too tight. I don't think he's going to be calling as wide. I don't. I think he's going to be much tighter. Probably something like that. And maybe even that's a little too wide. So let's build our tree. Oops. So we see a flop. And let's see here, 7.5. And we effectively have 100 big blinds. I think it's 97 on me. So we'll build the tree. And then we'll run the solver and we'll see. Should I have Cbet here? Should I have not Cbet? Based on what we've done, I'm thinking that I don't really have anything. I don't have backdoor wheel draw. I don't really have backdoor straight draw. This board's going to hit him a lot. Yeah, the king hits us, the queen hits us, but I feel like ace-5 might be a hand where it could be, it's either, I think, a fold, like check fold, or bluff. There's absolutely no value. So let's check what the solver does. So at this point, oh, let's run the solver. There it is. All right, so we'll come back when it is done. All right, this one took a while. 3 minutes. So let's check this out. All right, so we're betting 68% of the time. It looks like we are betting even. Our ace-2, ace-3, ace-4. Ooh. King clubs, 9 of clubs. Oops. King of clubs, 9 of clubs, and queen of hearts. Bummer, different board. All right, so we're gonna have, well, on this board with the bottom pair, it looks like ace-5 is a check, mostly a check. That's interesting because I had something like this happen when I played the other day, where I flopped the bottom pair with the ace kicker, didn't, had a backdoor flush draw. I actually bet it because I thought I've got bottom pair. I can bet again when the flush draw hits, but apparently this is telling me that I should be checking ace-5. So again, don't be super aggressive, especially against players that tend to be play GTO. All right, so let's rebuild the tree and let's run this one more time and with the correct flop and see what we're supposed to do. All right, so we are looking at solver here. So it looks like we are betting king, jack, king 10. We're betting top pair. 2 pairs, kind of a mixed. I think that's kind of interesting. Ace king off is mixed. Ace king suited is mixed. Ace king hearts definitely betting. So betting top pair. We're mostly betting top pair. We're betting straights. We're betting most of our sets. Ace-5. Ace-5 is looking at mostly a check. Ace-5 of hearts bets, and I'm guessing that the variation here is you could probably do it with well, let's see here, Ace-5. So with a queen of hearts, it's harder to have ace queen of hearts. Well, with the ace we block, so now you can't have like king queen of hearts, queen jack of hearts, king 10 of hearts. But this diamonds and spades, maybe you could have your kings, king queen, more or less. So we probably fewer of the hearts, the high hearts out there, so we could bet with the hearts. Not fully sure why that would be the case, but ace-5 looks like we are mostly checking here, 62% check. What did I do? I bet half and he calls. So I bet, and then he's supposed to be calling with GTO, mostly the upper hands, pocket pairs, trips. So he calls king of spades, and then we went check and check. So king of spades, and now I bet I still had some ace-5s there. Now I'm supposed to check. Okay, I like that. And then he's supposed to be betting and betting 57%. If he bets, I think I'm folding all of those ace-5 hands. I'm folding all of those that miss, but he doesn't. He checks. So if he's playing GTO, we get a 2 of diamonds. Oops. 2 of diamonds, and then we're still checking, and I bet if he bets, we're going to be folding those. Yep. So we went check, check on this to see the river. And I think the question is, you know, is this GTO strategy expected? Yeah, I'd expect a lot of these hands to fold. They've got under pairs. I expect these to call, so you know, when he calls, I like my bet. Yeah, we could obviously raise, continue firing again, but with ace-5, we don't really have anything else to pick up. So what does he show? He shows ace-jack, and is that in his range? In his call? Yeah, he's got ace-jack hearts. And then we check, and again, he should be betting a lot. He didn't, so we could kind of look into it, but I think overall, when he checks, we're still behind. I guess what we could do is just let's do this one last time. We're gonna check all of his draws. So we're gonna check those without a pair. Call the gut shots. I think even the flush draws probably would just check. Okay. And I would expect, you know, king queens to be betting now, kings jacks to bet, queen jacks to bet. Maybe not entirely queen jacks, but so let's run it and check, see what our new play is. We'll come back. All right, so solver's done. We got him set up with the checks. He checks, and then yeah, we're still gonna be checking. It's boards miss, draws miss. Really no advantage for us to bet. We're betting, hoping for some value, but mostly we're just gonna be checking, and then you know, if he bets, we're gonna be folding. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this. Look tomorrow for another.